it's real, man. Like what you put out there, you get back. It's just a fact. I didn't make the rules. I'm good at the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you are.
yeah, dude. It's something the universe, God spoke to me, and I was like, Chris, I don't want to be Taylor Swift. I want to be Jimi Hendrix.
Oh.
So, and he wrote me back.
We might get some Swiftie hate.
Say, I don't know, right? Yeah. Hey, you might be canceled now, bro.
Shoot,
you have to cancel this shit in the archives.
I didn't say it. Shoot, I'm a Swiftie for life.
You know, you inspire me. Like that. He's like saying all this cool shit, and I was just like, see, this is what I do it for. Like, I'm not trying to be like, yeah, man. No, but it's more like, this is what I do it for right here is fuck the money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I do this for, which... Don't not fuck the money, but you know what I'm saying. Like I do it because like I want to make money and make a living to live comfortably, even more so. But I'm also doing it because it inspires people in a cool way. But that's where I come in, and I can make a difference, and I can take some of that money and give it back, whichever way I can. Whether it be donating my resources to a school, my art to a school, for the lesser, you know what I'm saying, or whatever I can do. Yeah. Donate to a charity to help these kids get backpacks or whatever I can do. I will do my best to do that. Sal, like, have you ever thought about prints? Like making prints of my work.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of artists that everybody knows out there that I'm not going to name, and no shots fired at them because to each their own. Mm-hmm. God bless. Mm-hmm. It's just not my thing. I'm not afraid to live on the street again. I don't care. That'll never happen ever again.
I did want to ask you about AI now. AI has created works of art. What if I say, hey, create a Sal's Famous style work of art dealing with Latino culture,
right?
And it creates it, and then I don't pay you for that.
Right.
That's not it's in your style. It may look like your work, and then I can put it on my wall. Does that worry you at all? Cheers.
Oh, cheers, brother. Hell yeah.
Boom.
Here's to podcast and art success.
Hell yeah. And with that said, hey, welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast podcast. In this episode, we're back, baby. 2.0, part 2, part 2. We got Sal's Famous. He's visiting here. Now we're doing it on my turf. San Antonio, baby.
I'm away team.
I had a great time in Dallas when I visited you and got to see your art. I'm out of breath.
You're so good, quick. Man. You just huffed this all together real quick.
I blew up real quick.
Yeah, I just sat and talked to you the whole time.
No, but last time we were together, we talked about how you got started with art, your style. We had a beautiful backdrop of multiple artwork that you had there.
Yes.
Today we have a little bit of the San Antonio North something skyline.
Yeah.
Northwest skyline.
In the penthouse.
Oh, we're being hosted, but we're not going to tell you by who.
Yes, undisclosed location.
Yes, sir, baby. Keep the mystery. But dude, I'm glad you're here. We're going to talk a little bit about some art, today's economy, some AI stuff.
Tight.
And we're going to talk about this belt.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. And I just wanted to say, had to bring the belt out.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
And now, actually, this time I'll be able to talk about it in a little bit more detail as to why I have the belt. Because I was on a podcast many years ago and I didn't really get to explain. I kind of explained it, but I was super nervous in the moment. So I kind of just gave like the kind of the cliff notes of why I have it versus the in-depth detail of like trolling and all this other shit. So anyway.
Okay. No, well, look at I'm intrigued already.
Yeah,
shit.
dude, yeah.
Well, let's sit back, buckle up. Let's go too hard, too fast. Hey.
This is Sal's Famous at Too Hard, Too Fast 2.0, reminding everybody it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Let's go.
Before we get to the belt and that conversation, because you mentioned another podcast, so if you say their name, I'm going to bleep them out.
Okay.
Okay, because you know what? Rivals, baby. No, I won't. I'm not a punk like that. Maybe I am. I don't know. We'll see how I feel when I'm meditating.
Okay, tight.
No, but hey, welcome to San Antonio. I know you said you haven't been here in a while, like a good while.
I had last time I was here, I was 12.
12 years old. Do you remember why you were here?
I'm way over the age of 30.
Do you remember why you were here?
Fiesta, Texas.
Oh, like on a field trip or?
No, my mom would just bring us here, me and my sister. Back like when SeaWorld was a thing. Now, before we, know that they torture those poor animals.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fiesta, Texas, it was fun. It was fun. I mean, that's the last time I can remember being here. I was like 12 years old.
Now
so,
we just torture those roller coaster attendees.
yeah. It's changed so much. It's actually really cool here now. Like, you know.
Like San Antonio or Fiesta, Texas?
I mean, no, San Antonio.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so what is like the immediate, besides the size difference, what's the immediate difference you have noticed?
A lot of merging lanes. Because there's construction. They're doing a lot of construction. No. The hills. I don't remember the hills.
Oh, really?
Like they're almost like little mountains. Yeah, the hills. Yeah.
Well, here
it's very pretty though. Very pretty.
We're in like the I-10 UTSA area.
Yes.
We won't say exactly where.
Right.
But I-10 UTSA area, if any like sleuths can actually tell from the background.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. But I used to live not too far from here, and I moved in that area when there was, I'm gonna sound all old, there was nothing but grassland.
Yeah.
But it was legit. It was like the apartments I lived in, the gas station that's pretty close by, and that was about it. And like a couple, like the Costco, I believe that's somewhere around here.
Yeah.
But dude, trees everywhere and deer everywhere.
Wow.
Big old buck deers.
Really?
Yeah, and it was so cool. Like I would wake up from or come out and walk my dog.
Yeah.
On the outside of the apartment, and you just see those deer just like big old. Was it hooves? Not hooves. Horns.
Yeah.
Antlers.
Antlers. Yes. Antlers.
And it was just peeking up there like that.
Wow.
The morning light. It was like the coolest thing to see. And then by the time I moved out of those apartments, everything was gone. Buildings, restaurants, everything was here.
Yeah.
And all the nature went away.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Crazy. Yeah, I can tell the city's grown a lot. And somebody that I'm here with was like, oh, yeah, like, you know, this was like, none of this was here in 2012. So San Antonio's having the same issue that Dallas is having. Everybody's moving here, it seems like.
I think so. I mean, I don't think we're as bad as Austin yet. But I think it might get, dude, yeah.
Knock on wood.
Whatever. I kind of welcome it. I welcome the people, unless you're from California. No, I'm just kidding. I welcome the people.
Talk about it.
No, I welcome the people because it is nice. I just hope it changes for the best and not for the worst.
Yeah, no, for sure. The worst part of it seems like there's a lot of traffic at certain points in time, but that happens where I'm living. So, you know, traffic's just kind of part of it, you know. So, but, you know, in my industry, it's good. It brings in collectors, you know. They want to buy stuff for the new houses because they're balling out when they move to Texas. You know, everything's cheaper here. So, no state income tax, only federal.
That's true. So I guess that is good for you.
For me.
Yeah. I mean,
it suck for other people, sure. So
it's good for me with the podcast world because more people are coming in that are doing something.
Yes.
That I can have the opportunity to talk to.
Yeah.
Which is not to say there's a lot of, and thanks to this podcast, I've learned that there's a lot of people, grown local people.
Yeah.
That are doing something with their lives that are really freaking cool here in
San
Antonio. That I would have never thought of. Art scene is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't in the world until I started meeting people.
Yeah.
That are.
Yep.
But now with just up and come, recently I was interviewing somebody that was filming a movie here in San Antonio, and I asked him I didn't even know we had actors.
Yeah,
but
right.
He says that it's a big scene here.
Yeah, and it's interesting because 10 years ago it wasn't as big, and 10 years before that not as big, and then maybe 10 years before that non-existent at all.
Yeah.
You'd have to move to Los Angeles or New York or maybe Chicago.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
I think it can be.
Yeah.
And the big deal right now, the rumor is that the people from Yellowstone, the TV show,
The 4 6's show.
Is it that one?
I think it is the spinoff.
No. 1923. They're doing
18 whatever. Is it 18 something or 19? Oh,
they started with 18. Now they're 19.
They're filming that here.
The second season.
Wow.
Supposedly, that's the rumor. More likely, it's gonna be Austin. They say we're coming to San Antonio. They're probably gonna do a couple scenes, and then everything else is in Austin,
right?
Or probably the Hill Country area.
Yeah,
But,
this is not Hill Country.
We're close to it.
Okay.
We're like literally maybe 10 miles away from it.
Okay, tight.
Yeah.
Tight.
That's beautiful, man. Dude, but speaking like with the change and in just society, our change in economy, man.
Yeah.
So the thing that I'm not gonna bore people with, the economy is going to, but the reality is like it's a little more expensive to live right now.
Yeah.
Your art is amazing, and it's priced accurately to what it is.
I think so.
Right. So to a person, and I'll be honest, like to a person like me, I would love to buy one of your paintings, but I would have to save up for it.
Right. That's fair. Yeah.
Has it affected you that more people are probably getting into that boat, like just regular Joes? Like I know you've had like celebrities and big time people that are buying your stuff.
Yeah.
But for our regular Joes, like, how does that make you feel? Because I'm sure you want your art everywhere.
Yeah.
In anybody's house.
Well, yeah.
Does that affect you? Like now that things are getting a little more expensive?
To be honest, I've had private conversations with certain people that are under a certain tax bracket that are like, hey, look, I love your stuff, but I need to save up. And I'm like, okay, look.
Us poors.
No, I would never say that. I would never Tom Segura those people.
As
that
Tom
son
Segura
of a bitch. Not a shout out to Tom Segura. So I used to be a fan.
Yeah.
No, but like that wasn't a joke either.
No,
I was saying that like what I will say to those people is like, hey, look, man, I have drawings that if you frame them, they look as good as a painting. This is no cap, as the young kids say. And you can frame it really nice. I have collectors that can afford $2,500 plus. They can buy a $10,000 piece, but they'll buy like 4 drawings from me because they'll spend a lot of money on the framing and some good coin on the drawing, but not break the bank and fill up a wall because they just love my art and those drawings just speak to them.
Yeah.
So I'll say, hey, this is another option, or you can just do this. You can give me a little here, and then a little next month, and then a little. It's all the same to me.
You do a little bit of layaway?
I didn't want to say it like that. I'm not trying to besmirch the craft. But
hey,
yeah,
man,
like,
I grew up on layaway.
And I'm not going to name any names. That there are some collectors out there that are proud owners, and I'm very proud that. But it's like, it's a little trickle.
Yeah.
It's a little trickle here and there. Pause. But like, it's like, hey, I get a little bit of cash and then a little bit of cash. And then before you know it, I'm like, oh shit, they got one more little installment. And then I ship it or deliver it or whatever, and then still treat them exact same. I don't tell no names. It's a private conversation between 2 people, and I appreciate the business. It's all the same to me. And would you rather have $2,500 over 4-month installments or $10,000 over 6-month installments, or have no money? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just me being real. Because a lot of artists are hoity-toity, and I'm not going to give away the game, but I am going to say that there's little things you do here and there to make things work. And I'm not going to devalue my art by being like, okay, I'll give it to you for $500.
Yeah.
But I am going to say, okay, look, this is how much it costs. So what can you work with me?
Yeah.
And then the person is like, really? But sometimes they'll be like, look, I can't even do that. And I go, look, well, I have the drawings. And they're like, well, I can't even do that right now. And then I'm like, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I still have to make a living. And, I feel like, I'm going to put it out there in the universe. I feel like what I do for a living is what do you call it? Recession proof. Because rich people are always going to stay rich. And they're always going to find ways to be rich. And they step on the heads of poor people, which fucking sucks. But that's where I come in. And I can make a difference. And I can take some of that money and give it back. Whichever way I can, whether it be donating my, resources to a school, my art to a school, for the lesser, what I'm saying, or whatever I can do, donate to a charity to help these kids get backpacks, or whatever I can do, I will do my best to do that.
What you've done isn't recently, I could be wrong, in the city, but I think you just gave either your time or an art piece or a donation to a hospital in Colorado, a children's hospital.
Yes.
Talk to me about that, and then I'm gonna go back to the economy
for sure
question, because I think I phrased it a little rough, and I hope I didn't mean it that way.
No. No offense taken. No.
But we're gonna go back to that. But talk to me about this donation to the children's hospital.
Yeah. So that was for a charity called Razors for Rhett, and Rhett is like I had to look it up. I don't know what it. what it was. It's like RETT, I believe. And it basically is like it's a neural disease or something. It affects like the whole body. I'm gonna butcher it. Look it up. Do due diligence if you're interested. Yes. It's a great cause for it's prevalent in children, I believe. Yeah. Once again, I'm speaking out of my ass because I'm just a dumb artist.
Too fast. We don't check facts.
Okay, cool.
Somebody else can.
So, but it's a beautiful charity for kids that get neurological disease that affects their whole body. Some it's worse than others. Some like they just can't do anything.
Yeah.
And others it's just like they're unable to maybe whatever speak or something. So basically I donated a piece because this gentleman by the name of Chris Faulkner, shout out to Chris Faulkner, he's amazing, was like, Sal, can you please donate? We have a charity coming up, and a lot of these very financially well off people like to do fly fishing, and they like to give to donate to charity, philanthropy or whatever. Yeah. So
was it like a silent auction kind of thing?
Correct. Oh, okay. But this one's more like not so much silent. It was like they had a guy who was like like very like Yellowstone-ish cowboy shit, good. Right? So like 45, 55, 55, and they were like they're like doing the nose tap, the head, all that shit. They all ride horses, whatever.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I'm not an impressionist. But no. So he was like, "You want to donate?" I was like, "Sure." And I said, "Tell me, what to like little keywords." He told me, and man, I knocked it out of the park. I don't fucking paint fish or animals even, and I even asked him, "What's the difference between a bass and a trout?" I don't fucking know. Yeah. Dude. I grew up in the city, So, man, but I knocked it out of the park, man. I was really proud of it, and him and his lovely wife Sarah. Shout out to her too. She's amazing. She says something very beautiful about me that he told me in private, and they bought it and donated it to the children's hospital in Denver, Colorado. And they flew me out there for a day, and I came back in a day, and I met the surgeon, doctors, and they showed me it was beautiful, the war wing or whatever they call it, the hospital that has for the children with Rett, and man, it was great. And like my abuelita would be proud. However you feel about the Vatican, my art sits literally maybe 20 feet around a corner from a letter from the Pope.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. Like I was like, this means to me nothing, but my abuelita would be like, that's my mijo.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's
so I was really
cool
proud
too.
about that.
No, dude. That's really cool. And especially like if I could get anything close to like the Pope, my mom would be like, yes.
Hell yeah, you made it.
To me, yeah, and the same thing to me would be like, no, it was more, it's better for me kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see like the proudness in our familia.
For real, especially a Mexican grandmother. I mean, that's like, oh my God, that's like next to her. That's like kissing his ring.
Yes.
Or whatever, Yeah.
I
will say this: the coolest part about it was the gratitude of the people that were speaking to me, doctors that graduated from prestigious colleges, and people that are believing in something so beautiful and good, and them telling me, "Thank you so much for your what you do." And I'm like, what? Like, this is insane. And being like, we want you to come back for our tenure, da-da-da. And Chris's wife said something so beautiful. He texted to me. He was like, Sarah said, there's no one else like Sal or whatever. It almost made me cry. Yeah. So anyway, I love what I do, man. I'm super blessed. That's
that's good. That speaks volumes to what we had talked about last time, where that one teacher told you you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
So
still sticks with me to this day, brother. But that's what keeps me going. You
keep proving it wrong.
For sure.
And then just to be able to be in that, giving something of yourself to other people that are in need, especially children. Like, you can't put a price on that.
No, you can't.
Glad there was a price, because that price went to helping them.
For sure. And there's something energetic and really cool about like kids have so much energy. So like when you do, or you're an artist, they kind of look at you like a rock star in a weird way, and they're like, man, what you do is so cool. Like, look at my drawing or my painting. And it kind of gives them like hope, like I can do this too, kind of thing, even if they're sick or whatever. Or they just enjoy your energy, that you're like so happy that they're happy. And then it gives everybody like, it's like it goes out like this. It's weird. I don't even know how to explain it. And like, yeah, man, it's just really cool. It's really cool, and I'm super happy that people love what I do, and that's not some kind of like woo-woo talk. Like, it's real, man. Like, what you put out there, you get back. It's just a fact. I didn't make the rules. I'm good at the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you are.
Yeah, dude.
But what
cheers, brother.
Cheers. Which goes back to I have a real bad habit of eating.
You're
ice.
fine. I don't care. I'm your guest, brother. I don't care.
You don't care, but the people that might be listening are like,
yeah.
Going back to like my original question, I phrased it in the way of like, yes, I said like us poors, like us, me per se, but I didn't mean it in that way. You did open up a different perspective that I wasn't thinking about. But what I was thinking about was kind of like more on your end, like like kind of your struggle to it, because I know last time we talked about it and you said, you know, if you're an artist, you don't have to be a struggling poor or starving artist.
You do not.
But I was wondering if, because of the time and then changes in the economy, if you're having to bring down your price.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Man, honestly, as of right now, no. Like I said, I will work with certain people, but I will say no to a lot of things just because thank God, I'm in the position where, you know, I'm not afraid to live on the street again. I don't care. That'll never happen ever again. But yeah, man, I mean, it's I can see where things have slowed down. People don't pull the trigger as fast, but people are still looking for, you know, art. And there's people, you got to remember. So like, all I really need, I don't know if I've told you this before, let's just say in North America right now, there's like 300, we're good on time, right?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Keep going.
We have like 300 plus million people, right? What's 1% of that? I don't even know. It's a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
It's a shit ton. It's like 30 million. I don't know. Yeah. Do the math right now.
Too hard to pass. We don't check facts, baby.
It's right there. The number coming right there.
Yeah.
No, but like 1% of that, right? I need 1% of 1% of half of that 1%, and I'm good. Yeah. Like, that's a lot of people still. Like, I mean, even I have 50,000, whatever. That's a lot of people. That's a fucking shit ton of people. I can live and eat for the rest of my life. So, I could see it slowing down, but there's also a plethora of people moving in from LA, New York, Chicago. I have this lady that reached out to me the other day. She was visiting her and her boyfriend. They couldn't make it out to visit me, but they wanted to see my stuff. She goes, well, we're moving there in December. It don't matter. Or I'm moving there in December. It doesn't matter. Right. And she's starting a whole like wine company or something. But basically, she like, I think, like a 1-bedroom in New York. I heard on a podcast that's like 600 square feet or 900 square feet is like $12,000 a month.
Dang.
In Manhattan.
Dang.
Okay, so these people they're renting out lofts for $1 million. But they live in a loft. They don't live in a fucking. Yeah. You can buy a baller house out here for $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So everything to them is cheap. They're not. They're on a different level, and they're moving to Texas, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, Houston. So for me, there's opportunity always. It's just you have to tap into that market.
Yeah.
So
don't move to San Antonio because I'm still trying to get a podcast studio. That's not have.
You're gonna
that doesn't
do it,
have
brother.
to be an undisclosed location.
I see it. I see it for you right now.
No, I'm sure, man, and I appreciate that. But it is crazy, you know, like to think that somebody can come in and be like, "This is cheap." And I'm gonna make this whole community expensive now. Yeah, I'm like no, porque
the only problem I see with that is that it pushes everything else further out. Like my tias that just work a regular gig, it tends to push everybody else out. You know what I'm saying? But then the good part of it, you know, if you have a bunch of billionaires, then their money goes down to the people that makes them millionaires. I'm not an economist. Don't take my word for this. But this is just how I think in my head. And then the millionaires drop to the $100,000 people and the 100,000. So everybody's getting fed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just got to plug into where you fit in, the market. Whatever you like to do, whether you like to sell, you know, sneaker doctors that paint on shoes, or you like to make posters or whatever. You like to make films. You like to do podcasts.
Yeah. And that makes sense, and especially when you were saying like I only have to get that certain percentage of the people, because I say that to people like always. They ask me, it's like, why'd you do a podcast? Everybody has a podcast. It's like, yeah, but like I'm not trying to be Logan Paul famous or Joe Rogan famous.
Right.
I just need that small percentage, and that small percentage is still a lot of freaking people that would be interested.
That part,
you know. And
let me ask you a question. Don't mean to interrupt you. Yeah. If you got 10,000 viewers per podcast, would that be good for you?
That would be ridiculous.
Correct. That's not unattainable. Yeah. And like, you don't have to be rogues. You don't have to be anybody. Do you know? Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I just learned of a new podcast that I really love. It just spoke to me, and the reason why I found it is because a smaller podcast. That's when I say smaller is like there's Rogie. There's
Too Hard to Fast.
Flagrant. Hey, bang. Just talk about it. Speak it into existence. There you go. Too Hard to Fast. But then there's like other little conspiracy podcasts. And then one conspiracy podcasts, he referenced another podcast. And I remembered it the other day for whatever reason. I plugged it in and I listened to these two dudes just talking shit and I loved it. It's a podcast called War Mode. And it's got
bleeped. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, facts.
What is it called?
It's called War Mode. And it's like just two dudes riffing and it's kind of like conspiracy / political world / but they make jokes. They're bros. And I actually really enjoy it because it's just it kind of like you're informed, but it's not taken very seriously. You're not stressing out like Alex Jones, like the world's gonna end tomorrow. Which I have to stop because then it just makes you drink more. But like I'm just saying they probably get like 30,000 viewers. You know what I'm saying? Then there's the Legion of Skanks. When I used to watch them, that's one of my favorite podcasts. They started at like when I was watching their actual YouTube, it was like 40,000. Now they're up to like 80,000 over the what do you call it? The over the span of like 2 years. Yeah. So it takes time. Oh yeah. So all you need, dude, you're absolutely right. You just don't give up. Yeah. But the difference between you and other people that have had failed podcasts is people gave up. But it's not for everybody. It's just like what I do. It's not for everybody. People, it gets too hard for them, and they don't want it that bad. And they're also not good. That's like me trying to do stand-up. I wouldn't be good at it. So why am I going to waste 10 years of my life? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different strokes, different folks. You know what I'm saying? We need people that, you know, are valet. We need people that are janitors. We need people that are teachers. We need people that are, you know what I'm saying, in politics. Yeah. Those people, they like that shit. I like art. That's my passion. Yeah. I love it. I don't like it. I love it.
Yeah, so. I love podcasting. And
bang, there you go. Stick with
this is why I won't give up, because I do love it. I love the people I meet, and I love how hard it is. I love having to come to a person that either it's, in real life, I hate meeting new people in real life, but put a camera and a mic in front of me. Yeah. It's a different world, man. Tight. I love it. Like as soon as the cameras go on, it just like there's a switch inside me that just goes, I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
Or what I'm gonna talk about.
This is a 2.0 episode. Hopefully there's a 3.0. But 2.0 episode. What I've noticed about you is you're very easy to talk to.
Thank you.
And that's the hardest thing. And I heard it on a podcast. Well, I forget which one because I listen to so many. One of the guys was like, you know, there's generous hosts and there's generous guests. A generous guest will, when the generous host keeps trying to lob up conversations, a generous guest will reciprocate and give you more longer, be yourself clearly, right? Be like longer answers versus like, you're like, so what do you think about the, you know, landscape of the art world and the, you know, how expensive things are getting? I'm like, it's fine. Like that's a not generous guest, right? Yeah. So it's having two things to make it tango.
Yeah.
You know? So.
No, definitely. So thank you for that. Like I've heard that, and I'm the worst. I used to, well, actually, I'm gonna stop saying this. So I used to say I was the worst at taking compliments,
right?
But now I love them. Feed me more. No,
it's good for the soul.
I accept them. I'm learning to accept them more. But what I accept them, and it's not like physical, like when somebody goes, oh, you're getting strong, you're getting skinny, you're whatever. I don't think about it in that way. It's more like my skill-wise. So if you're saying you're easy to talk to, you're doing good with the podcast, I try not to like feed it. It's not, I don't let the feed the ego, as we talked the last time about. I still don't let it feed the ego, but I let it feed what I do for this. Like
as you should.
Yeah, so it feeds this. So it feeds the fact of like I want to make sure things keep going in that direction to where people trust that they're going to share their story and I'm going to do well for them. Or not well for them in that case, but like do good by them. Like I'm not going to make y'all look bad. I'm not here to catch you on a dumb clickbait kind of thing. Like right. I want to know your life for whoever is maybe in the same situation or wanting to be in the same level. Okay. So, and in that case, that's why I accept the compliments, and I tell people now is like that's gonna be for the highlight reel for me. Like that's gonna be my selfish thing. Is clipping the compliments and making it real for them. But just because it I think it feeds the podcast in that direction. Like it lets me know I'm in the right track, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, for sure. Self-love is a good thing, so you have to, I'm learning that too, bro. You know what I mean? Like, Dr. Joe Pizenza is? Pizenza, I think his name is. Pienza. It's Dr. Joe Pizenza. If you enter in Dr. Joe, Pen, whatever, and then it'll come right up. Dude, listen to a lot of his videos, man. I've been getting into a lot of this shit. A lot of older or dudes that are getting older, they're like World War II. Yeah. I'm getting more into spiritual shit, and it sounds like woo-woo stuff, but man, I'm telling you right now, shit works. Yeah. It's like brujeria, but in a good way, bro. I'm telling you. And people will make fun of people like, oh, you're into that, but it's like I don't talk about it much, but when people are looking at me like, how the fuck did you, like, literally I'll be manifesting shit in my head, putting in the work, of course, but like I'll be manifesting myself into certain situations that I can't talk about right now that are going to happen in the next 2 months. Stay tuned. That I've seen myself with these people, and certain people that I know are like, hey, you're going to come with me next month to go meet this person, and you're going to gift them that painting you did for them, the painting I did for this specific person 5 years ago. And since then I've been thinking about it all the time. Because I've
known, so you did a painting that was for them, but they just haven't gotten it yet. But
correct,
they will.
And it's basically chronicling their career when they first started. Okay. But yeah, man, like I'll tell you right now too. Also, I was looking at the teaser you posted about 2.0 and about me saying life is pro wrestling. That like that little my little. What do you call it? That
it was a promo.
I ripped the promo a little bit. Good. Yeah, with referencing a promo, I ripped a promo. So I was like, oh, that's so dope. And then in reference to your, hey, like, have you ever had to, like, in this economy, blah, blah, blah. The same gentleman, Chris Faulkner, had reached out to me. He's like, hey, man, like, just trying to be, like, cool and helpful with me. Like, Sal, like, have you ever thought about prints? Like, making prints of my work. Oh, okay. And there's a lot of artists that everybody knows out there that I'm not going to name, and no shots fired at them because to each their own. Mm-hmm. God bless. Mm-hmm. It's just not my thing. But they do prints of original artwork. So they'll do like one of 50. The actual painting will be like $8,000. Mm-hmm. But then a print of the painting, a 28 by 40 print, will be like 50 to 150 bucks. Yeah. But you sell 50 of those. That's
some
a lot.
Some will be even as low as $20 because I know a couple of
prints. But they're not originals. Yeah. But people just
doesn't mean the same to me though.
Like, let's just say an artist because he's so big, who doesn't give a shit. Cause does it, right? King Saladin does it. Alec Monopoly does it. So, but no shots fired to them. No. All respect. However, I don't. I see that cheapens the art personally. It's like saying, is no offense because this guy makes a lot of money. It's like it's Carrot Top and then there's Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? Mm. So, man, I love Carrot Top. This was the first comedian I saw growing up as a kid. Yeah. Point being is he was like, hey, Sal, have you ever thought of Prince? Because you could turn over a lot of money, monetize this shit and be making some good cash. Yeah. And in the moment, I just wrote him back. I didn't even have to think about this. It's something the universe, God spoke to me. And I was like, Chris, I don't want to be Taylor Swift. I want to be Jimi Hendrix. Oh. So, and he wrote me back.
We might get some Swiftie hate.
Say, I don't know, right? Yeah. Hey, you might be canceled now, bro.
Shoot,
you have to cancel this shit in the archives.
I didn't say it. Shoot, I'm a Swiftie for life.
At Sal's Famous Official. DM me. No, but so basically.
But it's I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? So like, and in the moment, it made sense to me because it's like, even Prince talked about it, and no shots at, Taylor Swift because there's a lot of people that love her music, but like, to me, it's like, I'd rather not have all that money and that shine, but people know who the fuck I am and go down as top 3, if not number 1 of all time, and be on the Mount Rushmore and still make enough money to where I can kick it back to my family when I'm gone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like, my shit's still gone.
The legend and the mystique of it. Because like,
correct.
you know, there's gonna be a legend, and Taylor Swift is probably a living legend right now already in her own right. But the Jimi Hendrix legend, you know, it was taken away too soon, and it left the legend and the mystique, like what could have been.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
So there was so much of him that nobody else got to experience, and so now there's so little.
Look at people that don't know Jimi Hendrix. His music is on Guitar Hero probably, and I've never played it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is like I want to still be able to go to Trader Joe's and people not know me. You know what I'm saying? Like how Banksy does it. Like he's the only one I could think of that's as big as he is, and nobody knows what the motherfucker looks like,
right.
or several motherfuckers look like, because apparently it's more than one person.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying? So for me, I'd rather be Jimi Hendrix, not Taylor Swift. Because I want to go down as a legend, but still make some good cash to where I'm comfortable.
So you don't want the fame, or do you?
Well, it's funny because it's in my name.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would be contradictory if I said no. However, like if it's versus like Bill Murray famously said, somebody walked up to him, Mr. Murray, I love you. You're so famous and rich. I want to be just like you. And he goes, try being rich first. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about the fame.
Yeah.
Because I would rather be rich or, you know, taken care of in financial abundance, which I am going to have. It's already here. You know what I'm saying? It's just not here in my hands just yet, you know? But I'd rather be financially successful and people being like, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're over here at this Ritz-Carlton every weekend hanging out. You're like, what do you do? You know what I mean? How can you afford this looking how you look? And I'm like, none of your business. You know what I mean? But I want their friends to know who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
But when I go out to Trader Joe's, nobody knows who I am.
Dude, and that's probably the best feeling when somebody can be like, I met this guy, and they're like, dude, that was Sal's famous. I can't believe that you met him. And then they kick themselves in the ass like, fuck. Like I met this guy and didn't.
All right, I have one story that I will tell you that I felt like over the moon, like what
Before
the fuck?
you say that story, I do want to go back to the Chappelle and Carrot Top
yes,
reference.
Tell me, yes.
Fan of both, and I think this is where you were going with it, or at least where I thought was like, I love both comedians for their own right. There is more likely of a chance that I will see Carrot Top at a performance over a Chappelle over price or availability. You know, especially since Carrot Top, you know, was in Vegas doing his stint there, and so I feel like, yeah, maybe pricey, but not as pricey as seeing a one-off Chappelle show.
Yes,
But yeah, that was just
It's like how Kid Rock makes his concerts really affordable, and he's probably gonna like, you know, sell out all his shows versus like you don't really get to go see Chappelle. I remember I went to go see Chappelle when it was a Chappelle show season 1.
Oh, okay.
The tickets were like
$40.
Dang. In a theater. Now he's selling out fucking almost stadiums, it seems. Or if it's in a theater, it's like fucking, you know. Good luck on a $40 ticket.
Yeah.
I love stand-up comedians, bro. Go ahead.
Me too. So I was just Joe Rogan up the road in Austin.
Yeah.
Dude. The Mothership. I got a chance to go there. Prices are good enough.
I will say, you know what? Your podcast is going to, I'm speaking this to you, your podcast is going to be really big. It's growing already. I see it. But the inside track, even if you can't go to the Mothership, the best thing next to the Mothership is walking to Mitzi's when they open up at 5 o'clock. Yeah. That bar is the coolest shit. It's expensive drinks, but if you sit there, you have a few, you will probably see one of your favorite comedians walk in and have a drink next to you. But when you walk in there, I always feel like there's people visiting from other places, and you just meet interesting people that, you know, do cool shit. Like, this is once again the part of the reason why, and I even put it out there in the universe that, like, you know, I'm gonna be on that show one day. And this is when he still lived in LA. This is like 4 or 5 years. This before 22. It was way before 2020, like 2018. I put it out there. You know what I'm saying? And now he's in Texas. Just saying. I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah, it's getting closer, easier, more accessible.
Yeah. But the cool story that I had about like the closest thing to being famous is I was out at this bar that I frequent down the street from my house, and I was just there, just hanging out, and this fucking dude runs up to me. Oh my god, you're Sal's famous. I looked at him. I was like, I've never met the dude. And thought I was being punked. Looked around. I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, oh my god, I love what you do. And he was the coolest shit ever. But I was kind of weird because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know how to act. So I'm like, thanks, man. Like, other than being like, thank you, I appreciate you. And he was with some chick. He was like, you don't know who this is. I thought this guy's but he was just saying all this very complimentary stuff about me. That's the closest thing I've had to being famous. I don't want that 24/7, 365. I'd rather just be able just to chill and do cool shit like this when people are looking at us in the lobby, being like, "What the fuck are they doing?" You know?
Yeah, kind of wondering like, who are they?
Yeah,
they're somebody.
Yeah, I'd rather that. So.
I enjoyed that. That was a little pretty. That was pretty cool, actually.
And so it's funny. I had tunnel vision. I wasn't even looking around me. I was just staring at you, like, "Hey, you need help, bro? Okay, cool. Blah blah blah. Da, da, da. Let's go upstairs."
Well, I think the only reason I noticed was because when I was driving up here, I was thinking about. I was like, man, all these people are gonna stare. They're probably gonna think it's weird that I'm walking in with all this, camera equipment.
Yeah.
And so, I was very quickly like scanning the room, but the faces, instead of saying like, "Oh, what," they were kind of saying like, "Oh," they were interested. They were like, "Who's this?" And of course, like you were dressed in to impress.
So it's close. Thank you,
but you were like, you have your style. So they looked at you, they look at me, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, there's something going on."
Hell yeah,
I'm interested.
Dude. Hell yeah. I did not have a clue. I was clueless. That's cool though.
And then it was cool because we met the people.
Yep.
And I think that attracted a little more attention.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Something's going on for sure. Anyways, moving from that.
Yeah.
But and I've said this once before, maybe twice on the podcast, where I've been recognized once, and I go, "Hey, you're that guy from Too Hard Too Fast, right?" And I'm like, "What?"
That's
like,
cool. In San Antonio?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know how to act, and I was already a little too hard too fast. So at that point, I'm like,
¿Qué le dijiste?
Yeah, is this real? This is not real. Who put you up to this? Who paid you to do this? But no, it was pretty cool. Like they followed. It was just nothing. Like there was like, no, let's take a picture. Which I was like, you don't want a picture or what?
That's
like,
cool, man. No, that's dope.
But it was just like, hey, you're that guy. Nice to meet you. Boom.
See, these are little, in my opinion, little gems or little stones or breadcrumbs that lead you to success. That's the universe's way. Woo woo once again. Yeah. That's like, keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because think about how many people that get that in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Think about it. You know what I mean? Like, not many. No offense, no shots fired. The guy who works at CarMax isn't getting that, right? You know what I'm saying? I had a guy, Mario. Shout out to Mario, Arta Pacino on Instagram. He's dope. He was the henchman in my Narcos 2. Which shout out to everybody on that. I'm very blessed. But those
are awesome videos. So if you don't know what he's talking about, check the Instagram, because those are like work of art for video. Like, you almost think that this is going to be the next Netflix.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing it, but something told me to do an extension I've never done. I've done these little art videos, little rap videos. For whatever reason, this is the second installment, and I have an idea for a third and final one. Why, God, are you doing this to me? I'm a tortured creative soul, but something's telling me to do it, so I'm just going to listen to my gut. Anyway,
dude, they're good. They're good, man.
Thank you.
You know what it does to me when I watch them? It motivates me. One,
thank you.
But also, the videos that you do, like when you're painting and you're like kind of doing voiceover, that motivates me too. But it kind of like, and I always say it next time, like, next time I go, I'm gonna take another camera and get that one to record me setting up. That way, people can watch, like, the work I'm putting behind the scenes.
No, for sure. He puts in work.
So I'm like,
puts in work.
I never do it because most of the time I'm just like, I'm rushing. But yeah, that way I can do my own little like promo things. But that motivates me. I love those. I love your videos, man.
One day you're gonna have an assistant to set up all the stuff I just saw you do, so that you have more time to talk to your guests. So when you start recording, you just roll into it.
Ready to go.
I'm speaking that into your life, brother. Yeah. But no, so Mario, who Arta Pacino, dope very talented artist. He's finding his voice, but he's a dope ass person. Like I met with him just to talk to him about the project. We're good, right?
Yeah.
Just to talk to him about the project. And man, this dude, and I've never met him before. It's like when the first time I met you. I've never met him before, but man, he was like, bro, he was so complimentary. I was just like, what? So my point is, you never know who's watching your shit. You never know who's looking at your shit. My David Parada, the director, shout out to him. David Parada posted on his Instagram, you never know who's looking. And ever since I saw that on his Instagram page, I was like, I've never thought about that. You know what I mean? And this young Latino kid, Mexican dude, badass motherfucker was like, bro, you inspire me. Like he's like saying all this cool shit. And I was just like, see, this is what I do it for. Like, I'm not trying to be like, yeah, man. No, but it's more like, this is what I do it for right here is fuck the money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I do this for, which not fuck the money, but you know what I'm saying? Like I do it because like I want to make money and make a living to live comfortably, even more so, but I'm also doing it because it inspires people in a cool way. Like, hey man, like you don't have to conform to that gallery life where you have to fucking kiss their ass.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just thought that was really cool. It just came to me. I don't even know why I said it. So.
No man, that makes perfect sense. And different worlds, same kind of goal, same kind of like feeling. Like I love doing this for the same fact that you never know who's watching, who it's helping, or who it might be just entertaining. I prefer podcasts for entertainment, but every now and then they just help me. Like either answer a question that I have, a worry that I may be constantly like thinking about, or I might when you connect with somebody, I might connect with what the guest or even the host is talking about. I was like, oh, that's what I need to be doing, or
it speaks to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So ask me what the new country song or the new rap song. I have no idea.
Right.
I'll probably find out like 3 months from now. But let me know what Theo Von put out earlier today.
Yes.
I'll let you know.
Dude, and that's the thing. When people ask me, they're like, oh, so what kind of music or whatever, you listen to music when you paint? That's the first thing I get asked if I'm asked anything, like other than whatever the first question
And I'll
will
listen
be.
to a small podcast too. Like
right. Well, yeah, I know. And I'll listen. I'm telling them right now, like sometimes I'll listen to a podcast and I'll hear something somebody says, like literally, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna make me like the new piece that I did that was called Illuminati. I did that because I was listening to a conspiracy podcast, and for some reason something told me to paint this fucking fucked up being like this, and I had originally put the billions in there first. I didn't even know I was painting. And my point is that it gave me inspiration. Like music's good. I'll listen to music when I'm bumping it in my car when I just want to get hyped up or whatever, just like enjoying the windows down on a nice day. But for the most part, I mean, I'm not college educated, so I didn't go to college. I barely graduated from Arts Magnet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a learned man, but I'm street smart. You know what I'm saying? So I take from podcasts. You can feed yourself. What you listen to, what you hear, what you see, what you think is who you are. And I'd rather be surrounded by beautiful, creative, intelligent, not smart, intelligent people.
Exactly.
So successful people, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean money.
Yeah, and it's an easy way to get a different perspective from different walks of life. Joe Rogan may say something that I may not agree with, but I still like the guy. And then I listen to somebody else that has without even knowing, may have a contradiction to what he's saying. I'm like, all right, I'm kind of with this, and this kind of makes more sense. And then I'll go and check some things, and then I make my own perspective from it. So that's what I like about it. Like it's a conversation between people that probably would have never met if there wasn't for it.
Yeah, and conversations you would never hear to have a different, like, oh, I never thought of it like that, whether you agree with it or not. The fact that you're listening to it without turning it off, you're hearing the other perspective that you probably didn't initially agree with. You're like, oh, that's interesting.
Which brings in also the art. Like, there's an art piece that you have recently posted a few times because Sam Tripoli kind of shared it. So, and I remember when you first posted it, and it kind of like, I don't want to say it didn't make sense to me. Like I was trying to decipher it. and it was like the big government,
Yeah.
and then some words scratched out, and
Yeah.
then was it good boy,
Good
and
boy.
then something
Yeah.
evil.
Yeah.
Okay. To where I was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I couldn't make sense of it.
It scrambled your circuit.
Yeah,
I
and I was like, it got me
Hell yeah.
thinking.
Hell yeah.
And then, I saw that Sam put it out and you reshared it, and
Which, by the way, I did not put at him on that one.
He just did it on
found
his
it
own.
and did it himself. Sorry, I had to tell you that little backstory. Full curtain pull.
Listen, I checked you. I was like, did this motherfucker do it? Like, I was like, and then hide his name. And I was like, so I checked you. I was like,
Like it was some.
yeah. But the way I knew is that it was your post. He didn't share like your story or anything. So he must have seen your post.
Yeah.
And he shared your post.
Yeah.
So there's no way there's no way you could
It's
have
not a
added it.
Photoshop.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh, Sam saw it.
That's
Sam
great.
Tripoli
I
saw
love
it.
that you
and he
said
did
that.
it.
That's amazing. I love it.
And then
it wasn't shadow play, as I like to call
yeah,
it.
no. So, but what I liked about it was that I guess it must have spoke to him. Like he was able to decipher something from it that spoke to him. So real quick, I guess since I've explained it, I probably showed it on. I'm showing it on the graphic. People are probably thinking about it too. So would you kind of give us your take on it? And obviously, art is for anybody's interpretation.
For sure, it's subjective.
But what was your mindset when you were creating that?
So I think like I said, I listen to podcasts when I paint. So I think I was like on that conspiracy tip. Like I wanted to do something that was like for me, I always want to paint. I paint what I want. But sometimes I'm like, ooh, this is speaking to me. So I kind of want to do something like that has to do with this. But my art is so chaotic and has a lot of texture to it and depth or whatever you want to call that. I was like, I want to do something minimal. And I want to use some weird fucking fucked up colors. And for whatever reason, I just start painting. I don't know what I'm painting. So then it looks like a skull. I'm always doing skulls. I guess that's being
I
Latino,
love skulls, yeah.
Dias de los Muertos, all that shit. So I just started doing skull and I put horns on them. Oh shit, this is like, okay, cool. I'm liking it. And then just going. And all of a sudden I'm just going. Like it's like the podcast, like it might start a little slow and then boom, you start hitting, like you feel the
start
heat.
rolling with
yeah,
it,
you start rolling. It's like jazz, you just start playing. So then I was like really loving what I was doing with it. And then I was like, something was like, put some letters down here. And I just listened to Dave Smith. He has an awesome podcast. He's a libertarian dude. He's really dope. Shout out to Dave. But yeah, so I was like, big government. And then when I put big government, I was like, I hate big government. So is evil. And then when I put is evil, Jean-Michel had a dope technique, because I've watched this documentary 1,000 times over, where if you cross out a word or a phrase, the eye or the person looking at it usually makes their eye go to that. Because it's like, don't look here.
Yeah.
So I scratched it out, is evil.
Yeah.
And then I put good boy, like good boy, obey good government.
Okay.
Big government, obey big government. Good boy, like a dog. Because that's how they treat us.
Okay.
That was my, and then I called it They Live. Have you heard of this movie, They Live?
No.
It's a movie with Roddy Piper, R.I.P. Roddy Piper.
Yes, sir.
It's a movie, I think it came out in the 80s, late 80s. And the famous scene is him coming into a bank with these like glasses on. He's like, I'm here to chew gum. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of bubble gum. And
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
it's basically when he puts on these glasses, he sees these people that if like I look at these people out here, they're regular people, but I put on these shades and you can see their true self, which they're these alien beings that aren't supposed to be from here, but they run the media, they run the government, they're high up positions, and he's like, oh shit. So he starts offing these people because he sees them for who they are.
Yeah.
But if you don't put on these glasses, you see them as like you're just
Regular
killing
people.
normal people. So it's called They Live. I call it They Live because the skull face that I did on the painting reminded me of these alien beings.
Okay.
So it's kind of political-ish. I try not to be too political, but some things I can't help.
Yeah.
If the gut tells me and my heart's like, do this, you do it.
That makes sense. And I kind of thought that good boy kind of
Like
thing.
good boy, like
oh, good boy.
Go on, go do what we tell you.
Yes.
Go get your chip, because if you don't, we're gonna X you out of society. That kind of shit. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I can see that. Dude, that's
but
perfect.
covering the is evil,
Yes.
like don't look here, nothing to
Yes.
see here, everything's fine.
Dude, that was tricky.
Everything's fine.
That was
Anyway,
good.
that's
It made
what
me
I
think.
meant when I posted it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that Sam, it resonated. I didn't even put at him or anything. I don't think I did. I could be lying.
No, I didn't
But
say
he
that.
just posted that,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh shit, he gets it. That's
Yeah.
dope." Which of course he gets it. So.
No, it was cool. You know the whole I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum and I'm all out of gum.
Yep.
That's from I know it from Duke Nukem.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Why does it sound familiar?
It was a computer game where it's like it was like R-rated video game where you like
Yes. Fuck. What did he look like?
blonde, like Johnny Cage, like big old muscle guy,
Yeah.
blonde hair.
Was
and
this,
it just
this
like-
in the '90s, right?
Yeah, and just like it was just a shoot 'em up game. Just
Okay. Duke Nukem. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
remember
then,
the name.
And you can like it was on the computer, like old, like your little box computer, and you press the space bar or something, and it would emote these sayings, and one of them was like, I'm here to kick ass and chew gum, and I'm all out of gum."
That's interesting.
Yeah.
They got that from They Live.
Yeah, probably.
Whoever
Oh,
created that game
100%.
was a huge fan of They Live, I'm
Yeah.
sure. That was like their little Easter egg.
And you know what it was is like it was like aliens were taking over the world.
Yes.
And he could see that it was aliens.
Yes,
so-
that's that movie. So whoever was in that
the same
game,
thing.
it was somebody that was a fan of that movie.
Yeah.
Has to be. It's
Yeah.
too.
So it was like real bad. Like I shouldn't have been playing it as a kid because like he walks into a strip club and you can see like full nudity
Nice.
kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, it's like,
Nice.
Yeah, he was like, baby. Yeah. So that's what it was. So I
You're
shouldn't
good.
have not been playing it as a kid.
That's cool.
I think my cousin got me into it. And it was a dope game though. It was a badass
Yeah.
game. But yeah, that's where that's from. But listen, I had one more question. Usually, actually, not one more question. I usually ask too hard, too fast story. I didn't warn you this time. But here's your 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
But I did want to ask you about AI now. You know,
Okay.
obviously that's a thing going on. AI has created works of art
Yeah.
that is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to the point of like, what if I say, hey, give me a Cells famous, create a Cells famous style work of art dealing with politics or dealing with economy, dealing with Latino culture,
Right.
You know, and it creates it, and then I can put that on my wall, and then I don't pay you for that. You know, that's
Right.
not it's in your style. It may look like your work. I wonder if it would even sign for you. That would be crazy because you have a very unique signature.
Probably.
And then I can put it on my wall. Does that worry you at all?
No.
No,
Because
because the
there's
brush
only
strokes are
one
not there.
champion. No, there's no. So when I saw a show called Silicon Valley on HBO,
Oh,
like
good
one
show.
of their very good show, funny show. Highly recommend. But basically, they were showing one of the billionaires had an AI or not an AI, but like a machine doing like some like a painting right there live. Everybody's like, oh my god, all the tech nerds.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll be a problem because to me, I see it as like a print. I see it
that's
as
okay.
like you can't yes, you can recreate all that. I don't know how AI would work as far as a painting. Maybe it could do all the same textures.
Yeah.
And maybe you can sign it the same way. But like for me, I know I did not do that. Now there's gonna be the people that are gonna do that, and that's
Yeah.
fair play. Like I can't stop
Well,
you
because
guys,
everybody's
you know?
trying to steal
Yeah, for sure. And it's
or
just like
steal somebody else's money.
yeah, and it's just like, hey, man, it is what it is. But that person knows in their heart of hearts, unless the day that I'm gone from this earth, which will be far from now, but like then they can start recreating. Like they've already done that with Basquiat. Like they had a show in Florida, and there was a guy, like some art nerd, that knows the strokes of his paints and whatever, and it was like these are all fake. They actually had a show, and they went big. It was like I was gonna go to Florida and go see it. Like I was stoked on it because I just saw some of the pieces because he created over 1,000 paintings, over 1,000 drawings. So there's people that have private collections that people have never seen that he actually did. So I
Actual
thought
like painting.
paintings and drawings over
That were
1,000.
fake.
Well, no,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So what happened is like they have private collectors that will actually put on shows. They'll like donate it to a
Okay.
gallery. So they're like, oh, these are unseen by many people that haven't been published in books or whatever. But what happened was these people got together, and the tell was somebody did a painting on a FedEx box that actually had the actual date, like 2014 or some shit. And so they made them and been like, oh, this is some fake shit, and they shut the whole FBI showed up and took all the paintings and shit away. Wow. So there's frauds out there all day, every day. So if they can do that with the human eye, AI is probably gonna be able to do it in 5 years. I'm not worried about it. So,
but even then, like when I was thinking, like AI is obviously, it would be a print, like adding the actual texture of your paint and your strokes. Yeah, I guess I could see like that's hard to fake through a computer. Maybe somebody that can be talented can fake it, which why do they want to fake it if they could just create their own stuff? But yeah, I guess that answers that question. Like as I was saying, and as soon as you said it would be like a print of mine, that's not mine. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, I guess I don't know if while you can speak for it and say that wasn't something I did, then I guess that makes that thing worthless.
Mm-hmm.
When you're gone and they're faking something for you or of you, I guess that's just a compliment at that point.
For sure. No, for sure. And like even when people copy style, I've seen it. Like that's a compliment. I don't get mad. I just go, that's dope. Because that's like before Jean-Michel Basquiat was a thing, there was this Puerto Rican cat called Ramel Z. Ramel Z was a Puerto Rican graffiti artist that dressed funky. He was a crazy motherfucker. Jean-Michel copied his style and made it pop. So Jean-Michel took him everywhere with him because Ramel Z was the godfather of neo-expressionism, I think they called it back in the day. And I'm just a product of them. So it's like them being alive and being like this young Puerto Rican Mexican dude I'm pissed that he's getting all the shine. No, I mean, anybody copies me, cool. There's nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about it. It's like, if anything else, people could say, like, if they copy your voice and do a podcast with Jorge, Too Hard, Too Fast, you'd be like, oh, I'm going to start doing live podcasts now. So everybody can see what the real is. Like, I'll start doing live paintings. You can't copy that. You know what I'm saying? Unless they make us start wearing VR glasses. You know what I'm saying? Then we're all fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. But, I had to bring out the belt, just saying. Cause,
that makes sense. We're going to talk about that. You know what? I was thinking, instead of your Too Hard, Too Fast story, this is going to be your Too Hard, Too Fast story. But before we get right there to that, I just want to give you one more compliment. About a month ago, I met this person just through work, and they were talking to me about art and really being into art. And it looks, I can't judge how much of their art they know. Like, we just met, but they were big time into art. It sounds weird, but I was like, hey man. It's like, hey, I have a friend. I considered you a friend, so I said I have a friend. I have a friend in the Dallas area that does a really unique style of art. And I couldn't think of the name Basquiat. I was like, it's a Puerto Rican, like the style that he does. It's very similar to this Puerto Rican artist.
Thank you for saying he's a Puerto Rican artist. Sorry.
No. Well,
sidebar real quick.
Because I remembered.
Everybody calls him a black artist. Just because he's black, he's Afro-Latino. And a lot of American black people don't understand that. Just like saying I'm a white artist because my skin is blanco. You know what I'm saying? But I'm Latino, right? Yeah. So it's like, hey, man, his dad was Haitian, his mother was Puerto Rican. That's not American black. Just saying he's Afro-Latino. You got to respect. Sorry, thank you for saying that. I love that. I love that you said that. I hate when people just,
I just remember when you told me.
Don't claim mine for you. That's mine. Those are my people. Go ahead.
Fair enough. But no, and maybe I should have said Afro-Latino, but
no, you're great. No. Puerto Rican. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I remembered from our last conversation. And so I was telling them, hey, the style that I like is weird, like weird art speaks to me, and that's what this guy does. It's weird art, but in like badass sense. Like it's like his style just like speaks. Like sometimes I don't get it. Like the painting we were talking about, I don't get it, but I love it. And I showed them the art, and they're like, "Oh shit!" I mean, hopefully you gain a new follower, but it was like, "Oh shit!" Like it was like opening up a new world to them. Like I was like, "Yeah, art is different." Like in that sense, and I wish I could have. I wish I could have remembered the name Basquiat. I probably said it wrong.
Basquiat. It's cool, yeah.
That's what I was like, dude. It's Baki. That's what I was saying to them.
Yeah. It's all good.
So I couldn't reference that.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was the compliment that I wanted to give you. I was like,
thanks,
I
man.
felt like your art has spoken to people, and this was another testament to it.
Can I tell you just real quick before we
can
get
tell
to
me
the other
whatever you
thing? The one thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna shut the fuck up after this. So the one thing that the young god Mario. Art of whatever. I'm sorry, I've been drinking a little bit. But shout out to Mario. Art of Pacino. Mario, he was telling me the one thing that resonated with me. He was like, "Man, you're just real." He just kept telling me that, and I thought it was really dope. Because the one thing I don't want to be is phony or fake. And do you know? I already gave it away, but do you know the one emotion that resonates with everyone? The most strongest emotion that resonates with anyone. If you were to guess, what would it be?
I don't know. And you said you gave it away.
Most people would say like love or hate, right?
Jealousy.
Right.
That's what I would
it's authenticity. That's the number one. I forget what they say, emotion or vibe or whatever they say that resonates with everybody across the board is authenticity. This whole Drake beef. When Drake started out, it was lover boy, emotional guy. He was being his authentic self, and then when he became a gangster and all this shit,
it wasn't real anymore.
It wasn't real anymore. That's why his empire, in my opinion, is crumbling. Because Wayne told him when he started, keep being who you are. Don't be a gangster. You're that emotional lover guy. You talk to the ladies. Keep that energy. Don't try to be like shoot 'em up and I'm gonna fuck you up kind of shit. That's not you.
Yeah.
And then it came back to bite him in the ass with the Kendrick beef, my opinion. So my point is that that's dope because I think one of the main reasons why, other than, yes, I am talented, but there's a lot of talented artists out there, is I'm persistent, consistent, but I'm authentic.
Yeah.
And I always want to stay true to me. And anybody out there can talk to me, come up to me, say hello. Even if you come to me and tell me you don't love my art, it's fine. I respect everybody across all boards as long as you respect me. If not, we have a problem. So that's all I want to say.
No,
Sorry.
100%. And you know what? You said authenticity. To me, the word that has been coming up recently in my podcast a lot, and it's weird that it came up here naturally again, integrity. And I think it's one and the same. So integrity. And I feel like this is what it is, dude. Like when I reached out to you the very first time, the second person I reached out to was my friend Victor, who was helping me behind the scenes when we
Victor's
first
great.
hung out.
Shout out to Victor.
Victor. I wanted to like cross reference. It's like, is this guy legit? And the first thing is that I'm a fan.
That's
this
dope.
guy's legit.
Very cool.
And that's all I needed to know because he's a very good judge of like character in my opinion.
Victor's great.
Yeah. And I was like, if this guy gives me like the green flag of like let's go, then I know you're real. And then as soon as I met you, dude, you opened up your house to us.
Thank you.
And we just took over your place.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then once again, undisclosed location, you've opened it up to us, and here we are. But you know what? We're coming to the end of it. This is awesome. I've had a great conversation. There's definitely a part 3 coming.
I'm there for it, dude.
But instead of a too hard, too fast story, tell me the story about this belt.
All right, so the origin story of the belt is I needed something to stand out being an artist because everybody's an artist, everybody does art, right? So, and I love pro wrestling. Who's your favorite pro wrestler, real quick?
Ooh, it's between Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Why?
I was hoping you were going to ask me that, and I was like, Shawn Michaels, because I love the bravado, I love the DX shit. Stone Cold doesn't give a fuck.
Yes.
Fucking drinking beer. Fuck you, motherfucker. Yeah. But Shawn Michaels, if I had to choose one, because I'm not that beer drinking redneck tough guy, I'd have to say Shawn Michaels. Ladies loved him, like flashy, would wear shit most people wouldn't, but he didn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna lean towards Shawn Michaels, but mine are the same.
I can't choose. I cannot choose between them. I got love for Shawn Michaels because he's San Antonio guy.
Yeah, yes, that's right. He is from San Antonio. Oh shit, I forgot that too.
Stone Cold is not too far from here.
Yeah,
Victoria, Texas.
Yeah.
Even though now he lives in LA or I don't know, Nevada. I don't really know.
Okay.
But he was a Texas guy and he lived that life. And
damn, Shawn Michaels, man,
hard,
what a
man.
G. Okay,
Dude, Shawn Michaels.
and then the Hell in the Cell match, classic matches.
Yes.
Being thrown off the fucking top of
Wait,
the cage.
Was it?
No, it was Mankind. But the Shawn Michaels did have
a Hell in
legendary
Cell.
with
Yes.
Hell in a Cell with Undertaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
that's
that
our
was
little WWF, WWE thing. And then
before the Mankind, he was.
And Mankind, that was an epic match. I saw that live. It was wild. But yes, he had several, I think, with Undertaker, Shawn Michaels did, and they were all epic. And for a little guy, but also a little guy for a wrestler that brought it. So that's why I love him too. So Shawn Michaels.
And
I'm going with
somebody
Shawn
that
Michaels.
went from like the lowest of lows to the highest of highs.
Yes.
He had his problems.
Yes, he did.
And then he came from it.
Yes,
he came
he did.
about it.
So my top three, I will say real quick.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Razor Ramon. That's all I'm gonna say. Bang.
Dang, Razor Ramon.
I love
you didn't
bravado.
even say Scott Hall. You said Razor Ramon.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, a white guy playing a Latino. Isn't that crazy? That's why I like him.
And nobody hated it. We didn't hate it. We were all about it. It was like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Ese es my vato.
He was a reverse coconut. He had a brown heart.
I'm down. We'll claim him. He's invited to the carne asada. Rest in peace, baby.
R.I.P. Good guys, the bad guys live forever, right? No, but so the belt is like, so I embrace obviously the pro wrestling culture. So coming into this art world, everybody's snooty. They're very like highfalutin or whatever you want to call it, like. They snub their nose at anything that's, lesser than, people that shop at Target or whatever. So what I want to do is shake it up. So I'm like, you know what? How can I make a name for myself, but also kind of just be an outsider? Not on purpose, just because that's who I've always been. You know what? I'm going to bring pro wrestling belts and make videos and just kind of like wag my belt at these elites that are like, ugh. Meanwhile, they're still collecting my art. And that's why I haven't done the belts as much anymore. I think I made my point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to kick a dead dog, but like every once in a while, like in this podcast, I'll bust them out. And it says on here, if you look at it, it says, thank you, brother. Yeah. It says the anti-artist, and then it says I am art underneath. So, which is, I guess, contradictory, but I don't give a shit.
No, that's
I just
cool.
love it. So in my own way, it's letting everybody know, yo soy el champion. And then also just kind of being like, you wealthy elites can kiss my ass because pro wrestling is here to stay and life is pro wrestling.
Yeah, man. You got to cut your own promos, baby. We're here. And we've just gone too hard, too fast with Sal's famous Instagram.
San Antonio, I love y'all. I love y'all very much. Respect. I love the city. I'm coming back. At Sal's Famous Official on Instagram. That's all I have right now. Stay tuned for all big news coming. Peace.
Dude,
I love y'all.
This is the thing, real quick. San Antonio, you got to show love because he came from Dallas. Show love for this podcast because he came from Dallas for this podcast.
I did. Yes, I did. All love and respect. Jorge, you're going to be big. Please have me back.
Well, I'm already big, but we're getting bigger, baby. My waist size says I'm big. All right. We've gone too hard, too fast. Dare to be you, dare to be weird. Bye. Está loco.